Well, normally when the significant other says something at the grad review, everyone breaks down, including one of the others. But I couldn't be happier that you're graduating. My life is going to get a lot easier. And, I think that the last year has been quite a, we've triumphed and over the travails and all this stuff. And I can't wait to move up to the Bay with you. I think it's going to be so great. And it's really great hearing all these things that everyone's saying, because it's like everyone in here is like your best friend, and you've had a really solid connection with everybody in this room on a really personal level. And I've heard you say, and one of the things that I connect with you most on is our sort of desperate need for downtime and just sort of escape and sort of people, But I don't know if I believe you, because when we go to a party or something intensely social, I get a little nervous, and you just light up, and you're the social butterfly of the party, and everyone notices, everyone can feel when you come into the room. They're like, what's Max going to do? What's he going to say? It's really funny, and so I like to follow you around because it makes me a little more comfortable. I'm with Max. And so, and you taught me so much about, the world and about being a solid person, not flipping out or just meaningless things. And so you've just been a wonderful person in my life. And I also wanted to know, if back to church, if you wanted to, well, I'm surprised that there haven't been any incriminating Max as a youngster stories. So I was wanting you to tell one about when you went to church and you were really polite. And you did that thing.
The communion.
If you want to.
Yeah, okay. So I mentioned earlier that the only time I had been to church before going to Mexico was with a good friend of mine from high school who was Mexican, and his little cousin was having communion. So he invited me to this communion. So I'm sitting there, literally the only white person out of like hundreds of people in two different sections facing the front. And after an hour of this guy preaching, I had started to my Spanish wasn't very good then, so I'd started to space out a little bit. All of a sudden, everyone in my row, everyone seemingly to me stands up, and I'm like, oh great, time to go, this was fun. All right, so I'm walking towards the front, and my friend Mario, who I was with, was in front of me. All of a sudden, Mario darts out to go receive communion from one of the two people up there, and the guy who had been talking for an hour is standing there by himself, looking at me, and he's like, come here. And I was like, oh my Christ. And I was like, okay, I can do this, but I have no church religious background at all. I have no idea what's going on. So I walk up to the guy, hands it to me, he likely said,
Body of Christ.
I take it and I go,
I have had that background.
Dad has the back. And I go, thank you.
And I knew that was the wrong answer.
Yeah, that was the right answer. So I take it and I start to walk away, and I turn to my friend Mario, who's finished, and he's like, and I'm walking away, and I'm like, and the guy who handed it to me goes, hey! And in really good English, he was speaking Spanish the whole time, really good English. He's like, hey! And I turn around, and he's like, you're not Catholic, are you? And I go, he's like, you don't know what you're doing, do you? And I was like, no. He walks over and he snatches it from me. This is in front of hundreds of people, everyone watching the front. And I became infamous in Mario's family for the white kid who fucked up communion. Thanks for prompting me up there.
Well, on that note.
Yeah.
Did I not tell you that, didn't I?
No. Then I can't.
I'm just eating it.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is have a motion and a second to accept his graduation. And while we're doing that, you need to think about how you want us to acclaim you.
I got it.
You got it.
Yeah.
So,
May I make the motion? That we recommend to the Board of Trustees and the faculty and the President too,
yeah.
and the Johnston community and all assembled family that Max be graduated with a degree in the list, creative writing, critical theory, African American studies, and Spanish on May 26, 1907, no, 2007, and providing that he completes all the work he has yet to do, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Is there a better wording?
Pending completion of all outstanding.
Okay,
Yes.
is that enough?
Yes.
Thank you.
A second. All right.